Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to You're the Batman. Today's BTS episode is. Excuse me, no, that's not the actual episode. Today's episode is Cat Scratch Fever, so you could probably assume that the bad guy is Catwoman. Well, I mean, she kind of is, she kind of isn't. I mean, it's Catwoman. She's all over the place. So it starts off Nightwing. He's on patrol for this like smuggling operation, and Barbara and Batman, they come in to check on him, and he's like, "Guys, I don't need you to hold my hand all the time. I've got it." So he goes in, kicks all sorts of ass. You can definitely tell he is a much more precise like hero. Like he's moving like faster and more aggressive than ever. So it's kind of like how Dick Grayson did fight, but like add Batman to that. Um, say he's kicking all sorts of ass, and then there's one guy coming from like 20 feet behind, and then Nightwing, he was like, it almost like he has like a spider sense or something. He like pops his head back, but before the guy can get to him, outpipe pops Batgirl, and she tackles the guy, and he's like, I saw him, and it's like we as the audience know, like, yeah, Nightwing would have clocked his shit. But it is funny, like in a lot of media when a person helps another person and they're like, oh, I saw that, or I could have had that, and it's like we as the audience know they didn't have that. This is an instance where we in fact know Nightwing was on it. So there's one last thug left, and he's trying to outrun Nightwing, and it's this really funny scene where he's turning a corner, and Batman is there, just like has his leg propped up to some crates, and he's just doing like this kind of pose, and the guy like stops in his tracks. He's like, "Is is he gonna do stuff to me?" And then Batman, he's just stone as still as a statue, and the guy like just takes off, and then Dick, he catches up, and he passes Batman, and he's like, "He's all yours." And I'm just like, "Damn, Batman, you are respecting the hey, I can handle all this." So I give it props. So he rounds the corner again, and Nightwing's almost caught up to him when all of a sudden he's thrown and tied up like a nice little package, and he thinks it's Barbara, so he yells, "I told you, I got him!" And it turns out to be Catwoman. And she's like, "Oh, I just wanted to give you a nice little present. Just, here you go. Maybe we could do stuff later. Anyway, bye." I will say, God, I hate her redesign so much. I mean, Catwoman's a character I've never really cared for in this series, but man, her character design is just so wonky. I mean, she's got like this big of a fucking waist, and it's almost like she has like Harley Quinn makeup on because her skin is like white as snow, and I'm just like, Catwoman, what the fuck happened to you? Like, the Poison Ivy one kind of makes sense to make her gray because like she in like some iterations, like she does like control plants and whatnot, so I could see like her body being affected, but like Catwoman is just straight up a woman, like, and, and it's not even makeup or anything, because when we see her later on at her house, she just looks like that, like just white, like that wall white. I'm like, girl, like, go to a hospital. You aren't healthy. Like, no, no other human in that animated series looks like that. Like, you have something clearly wrong with you. Every other person's skin pigments is lining up. You look like the fucking Joker. Um, but anyway, so uh, oh god, I had a little brain fart there. So later on, Nightwing, he's doing research. He's following up, I guess, one of the main bosses of the smuggling run, and it's just like some South American guy with like a hook for a hand, and he's big and menacing. I mean, he's no Bane for certain, but I mean, he's just a big tough guy. And then Catwoman shows up and she's like, "Hey, thought we could work together. You know, little old me. I'm so innocent. Let's do that." And Nightwing's like, "Okay, yeah, we can do that." So they get in to try and get some data for the next few shipments. So they transfer that, and as soon as the transfer is completed, Catwoman's nowhere to be found, and there's some guards coming in. And Nightwing's like, "Well, that kind of figures." But then Catwoman springs the from up above and then helps take out some guards, and then they're chased by even more guards, which leads them to jump off the building through like a panel of glass to land in like a swimming pool down below. Um, and so they escape no problem. Um, so later on, Batman he goes to Selena Kyle's apartment, which it's really weird. They don't really explain if she's like out on I guess parole or something or whatnot, but she's in a nice apartment building. She's just chilling, and Batman's like, "Hey, stay away from Dick, okay? Like, I know you, and I know you're bad news, so why don't you just go away?" And it is kind of funny. I so fuck with the Batman that is just no nonsense with Catwoman. Like, this is probably my favorite interaction between those two because Batman's like, "I've been burned by you way too many fucking times. I am done with you." Um, so blah, blah, brain fart there. So then Nightwing shows up and he's like, "Hey, can't help but notice you won't let me fight my own battles." And Catwoman's like, "Yeah, why don't you let the little Robin leave the nest? You know, we're just two adults, just but doing crime together, doing saving stuff. Yeah, I'm so innocent." Um, Bruce is like, "Okay, whatever, I'm out of here. Fuck you." Uh, so then at Nightwing, he takes her whip and he shows her that there's a little tracking device on it. So they figure, "Oh, we'll put him on one of your cats, and then Batgirl and Batman will follow that instead." So then they go. The reason why Nightwing was there was because he found something on the data disk that they um, transferred over. Bruce was there to be like, "Don't fuck my son," and Nightwing was there to be like, "Hey, let's do some crime fighting." Um, so they get there, they kick some ass, and they finally get to the main ship, which they're smuggling a bunch of stolen artifacts. And then you see Catwoman, she just like starts breaking the artifacts left and right, and Nightwing's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm looking for something, okay? Get off my ass." So she breaks one of the statues, and in it is like it's like the cat's eye emerald or something like that. Apparently, she went to South America and she put it on one of the smuggling ships, and she needed Nightwing's help to find out which ship it was on. So pretty convoluted stuff, I will say. And I'm just like, if you know it's so valuable and you were in South America, why did you come all the way back to Gotham City to like sell it? Like, I don't know. I feel like she could have just sold that thing in South America and just lived out her life. I don't know. Maybe she just has a deep connection to Gotham City because of Brucey. Who knows? So anyway, Bruce and Barbara they show up and they're like, "Hey, Dick. So everything's going to plan, right?" And this is after Catwoman. She like throws a net on him, and Batman he like throws a batarang, and then Nightwing's immediately like out of it. Which I'm just like, it's just a little net. Nightwing could have just, and then that would have been it. I don't know why the need for the batarang to cut it in half. I don't know. It just looked kind of silly. So then a whole bunch of thugs and the main boss with the hook hand appear, and probably one of my favorite scenes in this episode. So Batgirl she throws a whole bunch of smoke bombs to give cover to everybody, and so they're kicking ass left and right. And during the fight, Batman backhands, like not even punches, backhands a thug and sends him flying like 10 feet. And I'm just like, God damn, dude, how strong are you to backhand somebody and they go flying? Like a punch and they go flying. That's something. But to backhand a man, I mean, how do you recover for that? Like, could you imagine them in jail and they're like, "Has Batman take you out?" And he's like, "I just got the fuck slapped out of me." Um, so all the thugs are being taken out until the last guy's left, and Catwoman's making a break for it, and the guy with the hook's about to fight Nightwing and Batman, and Nightwing looks at Batman. He's like, "You got this," or or like something like, "I'll let you take this guy," or no, he's all yours. So it's kind of like echoing what Batman did for Nightwing earlier, although this time he's giving Batman a much more unfair fight. So the guy with the hook hand, he does get some good jabs in, and it's so funny because at one point he's like on the ground, he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll be the man who takes down the Batman." And I'm just like, bro, I don't even know your name. I mean, it says it, but I don't even remember your name. Like, dude, you are not taking down the Batman. So he's about to hit him with his like big old hook, and then Batman he like takes a fire extinguisher and then blocks it, and then when he hits the fire extinguisher, it just like gets all in his face. So then he's like absolutely bewildered, and he like grabs onto a chain for balance, I guess, and the chain it breaks and it goes flying up because uh something I can't really remember. And in the process, his hook is like lost to the chain, and he falls, and then the chain uh, breaks, and all the stuff that was holding it together falls on the guy. So you're like, holy shit, he just died, and he just gets right back up, and then he immediately falls down unconscious. I'm like, all right, buddy, you are dead. They just couldn't show that, so that's why that happened. But you were in fact dead because it was five huge crates of God only knows what, and it can't stop. It fell like 30 feet from the air. I'm like, nah, bro, you're dead. That's just the writer's fault. um, so then Nightwing obviously catches up to Catwoman, and she gets arrested, and that's the end of the episode. Um, so pretty good stuff. I like Catwoman getting her comeuppance. That's always nice. Bruce finally being done with Catwoman shit. That was really nice. Nightwing like being in on it the whole time with Batgirl and Batman. That's really nice. So a lot of good stuff. Oh, also good action in this episode. Honestly, my biggest problem is just Catwoman's plan's fucking stupid. I mean, it's just fucking stupid. I mean, it's not the worst plan I've heard in this show, but it's up there. So rating wise, I think anything from a 1 to a 4 is out. It's definitely not a 7. I'm debating between 5 and 6, but I really don't like Catwoman, so I'm kind of edging towards 5. But I don't know. Her plan was kind of stupid. Yeah, I'll give it a 5, just above average. Yeah, that sounds fair. But yeah, good stuff. Oh boy.